Long before there was a Michael Jordan, there was Bob Butterbean Love. Bob Love astonished fans and gained the respect of players with his fierce defense, sleight of hand passing, and his uncanny ability to score from anywhere on the court. He truly was an artist. The basketball was his brush, and the court was his canvas.
He loved to shoot. I tell you that. He had this sort of flat shot. He went up and you couldn't get to block it, and yet it would go over the rim and in some way fall down into the rim instead of sailing on over it.
His nickname sums it all up, Butterbean. It was as smooth as butter.
Smooth as silk.
Great jump shooter, great slasher.
I thought he knew karate. Foul, hit you, boom, he shot the wrist.
And when it left his hand, the trajectory of it, you could see the rotation of the ball. Everything was in perfect harmony.
Effortless.
And then it just goes through the hoop, not even touching the metal.
He was always dead eye.
He's one of the best players to ever put on a Bull jersey.
But I tell you what, when it was crunch time, he'd give him the ball. He'll do something with it.
During his career with the Bulls, he scored nearly 13,000 points. And that was before the three-point shot.
Bob Love comes back.
Bob led the Bulls in rebounds, free throws, and assists. Many of Bob's records were finally broken by Michael Jordan.
If I played with the three-point line, Michael Jordan would have still been chasing me.
Yeah. When we played, they didn't have that three-pointer, so it could have changed a lot of things.
It became a goal of mine just to exceed and excel as a basketball player for Chicago because he set great standards when he played. And not to the point that I wanted people to forget Bob Love. I just wanted them to remember Michael Jordan.
For any kid growing up in Chicago in the 1960s, the Bulls was their team and Bob Love was the man. Bob Butterbean Love played for the Chicago Bulls during those turbulent times. It was a time of protest, social upheaval, and black identity. The face of sports was changing too. Black athletes were beginning to make their mark on professional basketball.
It was only 9 teams in the entire league. That was unwritten rule. Most teams had 7 white players and 5 black players, or 4 black players and 8 white players and stuff.
I remember somebody telling me that, yeah, there's a quota on it. He said, if you're at home, you play 1 black. If you're on the road, you play 2. If you want to win, you play all 5 of us.
In spite of his stellar achievements on the court, Bob remained an enigma off the court. He had a reputation of being unapproachable and not giving interviews to the press. In those days, many thought he was inarticulate, angry, or just plain ignorant. But Bob kept a secret he dared not share. As a young child, he was cursed with a debilitating stutter. It was so severe, he could not utter more than 2 words without stuttering incomprehensibly. He rarely spoke in public, and only family and close friends accepted him for who he was. After 10 seasons in the NBA, he walked away from the game he loved and vanished.
It was sad to see a man that can't talk. It was hard to take to see somebody so nice, so good as a person that couldn't relate, couldn't talk.
Every time the media wanted to talk to me, they would say something. They would say something that I couldn't answer, which was all the time. Norm would jump in and say, "I answered that question." To that question, yes or no, blah blah blah, and stuff. And I really appreciated Norm for doing it because he saved me a lot of embarrassment a lot of times.
And for people to take that the wrong way and not explain himself, and after games and things that he couldn't just say, and then you could have something written differently in the paper. I just thought, honestly, that wasn't fair.
Norm was my very best friend. He was my protector off the basketball court because on the basketball court, I would let nobody bother Norm. I would beat him up every time they messed with Norm.
We will follow one man's journey from the bleak cotton fields of Louisiana to the gleaming courts of the NBA. It is about losing a dream and finding faith when all was lost. It is a story of courage and perseverance. But what it is truly about is winning. Winning the only game that really matters. The game of life. Hello, I'm Harry Lennox, and this documentary is about one of my heroes, Bob Butterbean Love.